Did you grow up?
I was born in northern Spain, and then my family moved to France, and I was raised there. But my mother was English, so we were kind of moving quite a bit. Eventually, I ended up to be by myself when I was relatively young, and then I've been pretty much all over ever since. But now I live here in the United States, and that's where I live.
Okay, so how did you get into slot car racing?
In 1957, I was in a department store in Paris as still a kid, relatively like a teenager, and I saw the very first Calextric racing set that was being sold. It was brand new, and I thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen, and I wanted one, but it was really expensive, and I just didn't have any money at all. I mean, my pocket money was like 25 cents a week or something like that, so it didn't work too well. So I had to wait until I was working in a toy company as a designer in the early 60s, mid 60s, and that company was the distributor for the Revell company that is American in France. So I saw suddenly arriving in a whole bunch of boxes the samples of their slot car line, and I went like, this is it, this is me. And just at the same time, raceways began opening in France, in Paris and in Lyon and in Marseille and in Bordeaux. And so I kind of embraced the hobby and immediately realized that what you could buy as kits was junk. It just didn't go fast, it crashed all over the place. So I decided I got to make my own cars. And so I started buying like chassis kits from like Dynamic and then other bodies from other companies, and started to rewind my own motors and things like that, and eventually started winning a lot of races. And we had daily races at our raceway in Paris, which was a very large raceway with a lot of tracks and lots of money expended there. And we had daily races where you could win money, like 25, 30 francs, which would correspond to maybe $20 today. So it was good enough for me to buy my slot car parts and eat. And they had a restaurant in the raceway. So I spent my evenings that way, and then during the day I would go to work at the toy company. And eventually, by about 1968, I was part of a French team that raced long endurance races, like 1,000 kilometers, during like duration like 36 to 40 hours, And we went to Germany and won a big race in Bad Godesberg in Germany, and with a car that I made, and using Mura armatures in motors that I set up. So we were doing good. And then by that time, the political situation in France was not very good.